Well, to tell you the truth, I used to head, as I mentioned earlier, I used to head the production department for IPG in the MENA region. I felt like at some point there's a disconnect between how the client's expectations are and what we at that time as a network provided in terms of production. So basically, I felt more inclined towards doing what's right for advertisers than to agencies. I think a global crisis at that time in 2009. So I had an opportunity to just leave and open a consultancy, and that's how it started. In all the projects, that's what we do. Basically, our role is to negotiate the best costs and at the same time to elevate quality. So basically, there is no single formula. It's a process, it's a science. When you look at costs, because sometimes I actually add things. Sometimes we ask them that they forgot to add a piece of equipment or that they need a certain specialized crew that they don't have. Sometimes we believe that the talent put in the project is not good enough to give great output. So it's not really about reducing cost as much as it is about elevating quality and optimizing cost. So technically on all the projects, what we do is sometimes you would come and say, you don't need to shoot it in 4 days. You can squeeze it into a 3-day shoot. So really it's challenging the cost and the approach. The production approach needs to be right, and that's what we look at. Also, we always try to upgrade. Sometimes you would pay for grading locally, let's say X amount. We might be able to get for the advertiser and his agency partner a colorist that can do it, let's say, like a better colorist or a more international colorist that can do it for the same price, or global retouchers. We work beyond the region. We work with talent around the world, and therefore we try to optimize by upgrading and by removing redundant elements. They're all the same, you know, there's a cultural nuance, but I think advertisers, they all want one same thing. They want to spend less or spend as minimum as they can and get the best value as soon as possible and the best quality. So they share this, all of them, and of course with slight cultural differences, which we don't have issues with, because we have clients in Asia Pacific, we have clients in the US, we have clients in North Africa, in Central Africa, Pakistan, GCC, Levant. They all have something in common, which, as I mentioned, they want to optimize and they want great results and as efficient as possible of a process and a timeline. There's a certain process we put in place in order for efficiency and optimization to be scored consistently across all clients, across all projects. There are some projects that are more challenging than others. Some projects change a little bit in terms of process. For instance, projects that are very heavy on animation, you need to provide much more time in pre-production and post-production, because you need to do 3D modeling, you need to design the elements, and then after the shoot you need to apply it on the visual, for instance. So while the process could vary from project to the other, but the guidelines are: make sure you do a thorough preparation, make sure it starts with an excellent production brief where you put into consideration everything you want. Make sure that you do your due diligence when you are reviewing costs, so that you know what you're buying. And also, of course, make sure that everything you agreed to before the shoot is actually what you end up having on set. and all your agreements at PPM are respected and met. And make sure you stay close to the process as an advertiser to make sure your timelines are being respected. This has more to do with agencies. So agencies should be doing this on behalf of the client, obviously. But this is how you get, it's about following, the process that you get there. Basically, it is to look at all the eventualities, to look at the content of what they're producing, the objective, the timeline, the budget, and at the way we review line by line. We don't look at a target budget. Definitely, we always have a target budget in mind, but what really matters is how to eliminate unnecessary costs and to inject elements that have been missed that are essential for a good production, and to optimize the number of days, be it days of preparation, days of post-production, days of shoot, because there's always a lot of fat that's put in costings. The most important thing I recommend is not to fall into the trap of cost controlling. A production consultant controls cost, but respects and takes care of quality. So this is really my utmost advice. Don't fall into the trap. You're not procurement, you're not an auditor. You're a production consultant, and therefore your first mission is to ensure whatever savings you do are not at the expense of quality. New technology and AI and ChatGPT and all these things, they're impacting a lot of jobs. I don't believe production consultancy is one of them because, or at least not in the near future. It could be an enabler. For instance, I use intelligent softwares when I evaluate costs, when I compare between different production companies. I don't think the role can be replaced by AI anytime soon because it requires a lot of know-how and production expertise, and it takes years of experience for some watch-outs that no AI can spot on a production. So my vision for Mint, our vision for MintMENA is to definitely, and we're already on the right track, to go way beyond the MENA. For instance, currently we consult for Coca-Cola not only MENA, but also we just got the consultancy for the entire of Africa. Nigeria is a huge market, South Africa as well. We are expanding into Singapore to cater the Asia Pacific market. Also in North Africa, we started working more and more with advertisers there. We believe in Morocco as rising star. We think that in the coming 4 or 5 years, Morocco and Pakistan will be very big, much bigger players in advertising. Today my session was about the common mistakes we make as advertisers and marketeers, and the lessons we can take out from these mistakes. At the end of the day, we are all in a hurry to get things done, but crafting requires time. Doing everything very quickly compromises either on your time or on your budget or on your quality. So mainly it was this session about the mistakes we make. I gave a dozen. I will not repeat them now unless you want me to. And for tomorrow, it's a workshop basically. It's about best practices and efficient production process. It will be covering mainly planning. So if you plan thoroughly, if you research effectively, if you bid and produce efficiently, you get to a good output, and it's about how to do that. It's not my first time in Pakistan. I've been here before. I had street food. I went to the market. I actually buy Lego for my kids from Pakistan all the time. But to be honest, you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I prefer Lahore. In Lahore, there are lots of nice monuments. I mean, I like Karachi. I like the people, I think.
In terms of places and adventures or in terms of food?
No, Lahore in terms of historical sightseeing. No, but for me, Karachi I'm always well received and well hosted, and people are super nice. You know, they want to take me out, they want me to experience food, the outings, and I like that.